What's up, YouTube? Hope all is well with everybody. Hope all is well with everybody. I want to talk about the people who might be, scratching their heads because they might have gotten to an age and they're not sure if they're going to ever have children or not. And the reason why they may have not had children because they were being responsible. They never found the right person to have children with, or whatever the scenario could be, Me personally, I feel like I never found the right person to have a child with. And I've known a lot of people who had children. To me, I don't think they even should have had children based upon their skill and level of parenting. But nonetheless, they still was able to, give birth and have children. So me personally, I feel like, when I was younger, I used to be like, oh, I want like 7 kids. I want a house full of kids. I want to adopt children, have children of my own. But as I've grown older, and I start seeing the reality of this world, that desire had begun to change because I, didn't want my child to suffer and stuff like that. And like I said in several other videos, you make decisions based upon your level of intelligence and stuff like that. And I've had opportunities to have children, but I was like, nah, I'm straight. I didn't really think that the person was the person I was supposed to be having children. So now fast forward to where I'm at today, and that's another thing is that's one of the reasons why it was okay for me to be with a woman who had children at that time in life is because my reasoning was, I don't want kids. I don't mind helping you raise yours. I can add to the children's life. Blase, splitty, but no longer I think that way. But as I just understand, some bit of prophecy and seeing how the world is unfolding, and then understanding the vibration that are on a lot of the people, you can have desires. You can have desires to have a family and all that type of stuff. But here in the West, at this time, people are not really valuing that. They're saying all the right things with their mouth, but their actions are not lining up. So, if it was so easy to obtain, then, a lot of us will be in positions that we would want to be when it comes to the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? But since the spirit realm is so dominant and it's got people in fickle spaces where that it's really challenging to have a foundation, and especially when you bring in children involved into the situation. But I want to bring out a couple precepts in the Apocrypha because sometimes, you see people with children and you might be a person who's well read or studied, and these people with children, they don't read nothing. And so you're like, dang, you're not being responsible for that child that you have. And it's like, then you see the child begins to suffer. The child begins to suffer through certain type of depressions, a lack of confidence. They begin to abuse themselves. And a lot of that comes from the lack of parenting that was passed down from their experience as a child, from their parents, and they never just wanted to improve, because parenting is levels to parenting. It's more than just buying a person some shoes or clothes, doing their hair, making them look good when they go to school. It's the time spent at home and the enlightenment spent at home and the experiences of different things you teach them. So I'm going to read a few precepts coming out of the Apocrypha and chapter 16 in the book of Ecclesiasticus. It says, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in the ungodly sons. So it's telling you right there, don't desire to have a lot of children. I've seen rappers have 16 children and 10 children and 8 children and different people, and they don't even have wisdom to bestow on the children. Half the time they're not even raising the children themselves. They're leaving them vulnerable to all these different devices that could potentially hurt them. So son is desire not a multitude of unprofitable children. Why does it say unprofitable? Because these children are supposed to be giving glory to the Creator. They're supposed to be honoring you. They're supposed to be, constantly a light. But now these children majority of them are children of darkness because half the parents are dark. Half the parents are blind and foolish. Verse 2, though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. So he's saying, though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. Now, what it's basically saying is, if your children don't have the fear of the Lord in them, and you notice that they're just, going about their lives and being Mr. Smarty Pants and female, the girls just doing whatever they want, there's nothing to rejoice in unless they have a fear of the Lord and you see that they're trying to do right by their Creator, which in essence, they will be doing right by themselves and they'll be doing right by you as a parent and honoring you and taking heed. And when they take heed, you're going to shield them from all the potential pain that they will possibly experience if they will just go all willy-nilly in experiencing life. So whether you're a man and you don't have children, or you're a woman and you don't have children, don't beat yourself up, because the scripture is going to give you another scripture for comfort. Trust not thy own life, neither respect the multitude, for one that is just is better than 1,000. And better is it to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. So he's saying it's better for you to have no children than to have children that are ungodly. And it's also saying, for one that is just is better than 1,000. So you might just have one child. It is better than you to have 1,000 children. If you have 1,000 children and none of them fear the Most High God, it's kind of like it's a waste of space, a waste of energy, and it's going to be a situation where your children is going to begin to oppress you because you're bailing them out of jail. You end up becoming... You're supposed to be retired, but now you're watching their kids because they don't have a foundation of their own. Now you are a grandparent, but you're basically living like a parent because your kids still never matured. So they're saying it's better to have one that's mature than to have 1,000 children. Because some people just be having kids. And then he also said it's better to die with no children. What did it say? And better is it to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. So it's better for you to die so that without children than to have ones that are ungodly, that doesn't understand spiritual principles, doesn't respect spiritual principles. You don't have to worry about the aging because you're always worried and concerned about your child. The child being put in very harsh situations, and now you're losing sleep because you are concerned with your child. When you have a godly child, that's one thing my mother told me years ago, over 20 years ago. She said, out of all my children, I don't have to worry about you. And I took it as a compliment, you know what I'm saying? I know probably some of my relatives or siblings are probably watching this. Hey, it is what it is. That's what she said. So she said, I don't have to worry about you. And she simply said that because she knew that I feared the Lord, that I always was on that path of trying to learn and try to be righteous. You know what I'm saying? Trying to walk a righteous path. So I just wanted to put that out there. Be of good cheer. It's difficult to find the right person to have a child with, so that you guys could be on the same page and guide and usher that child into peace and into righteousness. So if you don't, the scripture is saying it's better that you have none than to have children that are ungodly. So you're in a good place. And sometimes you get shamed for not having children with the manipulating ways how people like to communicate. But rest assured, if their children are not righteous, then it's almost a waste of time. So don't allow that shame to just cause you just to meet anybody and you find yourself having children and that child is being splitted from different ways of understanding and beliefs, or they just could be put in harm's way due to the fact that you're not there to protect them, whether it be spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, and stuff like that. So I hope this was some insight and some help. You young men who don't have any children, don't worry about it. You young women who don't have any children, don't worry about it. Be of good cheer, because if it's God's will, He will provide you with what you need. But you don't want to rush and put yourself and your future children in a position where they would harm them and they become unprofitable. Holla at you later on. Peace.